instead of the simulation.
That's true. Tell me.
The like non-cooler version of a simulation.
Yeah, all right, non-cool version. What are you talking about? Non-cool version of a simulation. Experiments can be super cool.
Doesn't it use like a control group?
Mm-hmm. You have to have a control group, and you have to have a treatment group. You got to change one thing to see if it affects stuff. All right, now I'm going to zip down. We'll go back to this other stuff, but I'm going to jump to treatment group and control group. Treatment group is the group in an experiment that gets the treatment. Something changes. So the treatment group is the change group. And the control group?
The baseline.
Mm-hmm. So they get a placebo. No change. Now, if we're actually talking about medicine, a placebo is an actual drug. That is like a sugar pill. It makes people think. They are getting a treatment. Why is that something that we need to do? Right? Because sometimes people make like, people will feel like things are changing just because they took some medicine, not because the medicine's affecting them, but because they are literally not choosing. They are unwillingly, their body is thinking, oh, I just took a pill, I bet I feel better. And you can actually do that. That's the placebo effect. It's where you feel better just because you took something. A confounding variable is an extra variable that is unexpected, that interferes with the results of a study. Besides the fact that I'm supposed to be teaching you guys this stuff, you need to know that when you're taking the AP test, are all of us planning on taking the AP test? We have to decide, I believe, by March 1st. And you can decide for yourself. It's $75 to take the AP stats test, unless you get free and reduced lunch, and then I think it's either free or like 20 bucks. And sometimes the school pays for some, so it might be 50 bucks. It is 50 bucks some year. Anyway, $75 is a small price to pay to find out if you get out of $5,000 worth of tuition, if you're going to college. And even if you think, I'm not going to college, or I'm not going to college for a year, you should still take it, because a year from now you might not be able to pass the AP test. Well, now you will be able to, and it's worth, I think, spending the money. It is an afternoon of testing, which sucks, but I'm going to prepare you for it. So I'd say you might as well, but it's up to you. And I'm not going to be upset with you if you choose not to. But when you're taking the AP test, they look for words. They're literally looking for keywords sometimes, like control group, like placebo, like confounding variable. And if they don't see those words, they don't give you the points. So there are half the test for the AP test is multiple choice, hour and a half of multiple choice questions. And then half the test is free response. So it's basically 6 questions over another hour and a half, where it's just like a big story problem where you just have to like solve it and figure it out. Usually there's a couple probability ones on there. Usually there's one about designing a study, where you have to say, if they'd say, here's a situation, how would you design a thing for this? And they're looking for you to say, I would have a control group where I wouldn't give them this medication. I'd make sure that they've had the placebo instead. I would have this group, here's how I'd split them up. I would do men and women or whatever. They're looking for words like stratified and stuff like that, which is on the second page. They're looking for these like keywords when you're writing. So the nice thing about the math test is even when you're writing paragraphs and sentences for the math test, they don't care anything about your grammar. They don't care anything about your punctuation or anything like that. They care about your ideas and your thoughts. But they are looking for keywords like confounding variable, that kind of stuff. Blinding is when the patient doesn't know if they are getting the real medicine or not. Thank you. That is important. Okay,
What time does it end for the?
usually about 5.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. It'll be helpful for you for building. Cameron, do you know him?
No.
He's not going to be trying to come up with his own ideas or boss you around. He's going to be the kind of person where you're like, hold this here, okay, use a drill here, that kind of thing. Anybody know what double blinding means? Did I put that on the second page?
Yeah,
Okay. What's double blinding mean?
nobody knows who got what.
Nobody knows who got what, not even the researchers. Well, I mean, somebody knows, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to see whether that makes sense, but it's not the people who give you the medicine or do the study. Who got what? What were you gonna ask me?
Can we go back to the
Observation, yeah, we will. So nobody knows who got what. The reason why they do that is because let's suppose that you're a researcher and you really want your experiment to work. And let's say that I'm really invested, right? Like I care about this medicine, I've been really working hard at it. And I gave Natalie the real medicine and I gave Georgia the placebo. And it's for depression. And you both come in and I'm like, and I say the words, how are you doing today to both of you? But I know that Georgia got the placebo and I really want my medicine to work, right? Without even meaning to, I could say it like this. I could say to Georgia, how are you feeling today? Or I could say to Natalie, how are you feeling today? You know what I mean? Like just the way I'm asking is going to inspire the way you respond, and it might not be on purpose for me. It's just what I'm anticipating. I'm expecting that your medicine's gonna work and your placebo will not work. I'm hoping for it. And so sometimes you can make things happen without even realizing it. Going back to observational study, what's that? You observe and? Nope. Well, yes. Observe and don't interfere.
Just for watch and learn.
Watch and learn. This is like every nature documentary in the world, or at least I hope it is. I hope they're not like killing a animal and then throwing it out to the lions and then be like, whoa, look at these lions eating this pork roast that I got from Hy-Vee. You know, like they're definitely trying to just see what happens in nature. So this is almost every single nature study. But also you're looking at things like, for example, here's one. It's kind of an experiment, kind of an observational study. If I set up a display at the end of the aisle in the hardware store and see if people buy more things. Partially it's an experiment, right? Because I'm one day setting it up and the other day not having it and comparing the two. I've kind of got a control group and a treatment group. One day I set up a thing. But also I'm just doing an observational study. I'm just seeing who buys it. I'm not